And good evening and welcome to episode 14 of Endless Banter. We go from eating onions to watching curry. Paul, are you feeling emotional this week?
People are going to have to bear with me, man. I've got the telly on and everything.
We go from eating onions.
Is that you?
No, it wasn't me. Curry. Is it me?
It is you. I'm muted on YouTube.
Oh, typical. Emotional this evening. Coronation Street, bit of real life going on there.
Aiden's just fucking topped himself, mate. It's all emotional shit.
You see, Paul isn't a robot; he is a human being. I've just watched him wipe away a tear while he's watching Corey. So just let everybody know, Paul is human.
Are we both logged into YouTube as Endless Mods?
No, I think you're logged in yourself. I think you're logged in as Mr. H.
I'm not.
Well, I'll say good evening to Lisa, Pixie, Jack. Oh, yeah, you might be. Yeah, we might be logged in, both logged in at the same. All right, Darren, Lisa. Saying hello to some people in chat. Nikki, hey up, Jack, Neil, Adele, Frankie. There's a few of you in tonight already, which is nice to see. Back to the norm after the crazy weekend there.
First day back to work today, mate.
Were you feeling it when you got there?
I've had a decent rest, to be honest.
I think it was needed after that mayhem, wasn't it?
I actually feel tired today. Like I need sleep, so I was just like fucking. You sort of function on a high for the weekend. I've got the expo come downs today.
So we've got to start as normal.
How's
your week been so far? What are you drinking and what you had for tea?
I'm drinking fuck all. Hopefully my wife will sort that out for me during the show.
No more curries on.
I'm vaping the AO Pro with some shady vaping menthol. And I have baked potato, tuna and salad for my tea.
Oh, that sounds good, that. I'm drinking cordial. I had toad in the hole with mashed potato. And all I'm going to say is madness, 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 madness. That's all I'm going to say. So we need to get into sort of letting everybody know how the weekend went. The show is going to be based around Expo. I've got little topics from the side to discuss as well, but the main topic is going to be Expo. So we'll start off with, was your expectations filled for this weekend? And do you want to give everybody sort of general rundown of how you enjoyed the show?
Yeah. Expectations were way surpassed for this weekend, to be honest. I've not really been looking forward to this expo for the last few months, just because I had like a horrible feeling it was going to bomb. And I've been saying to Tasha for months, I've got a feeling this one's going to be fucking dead. Not even because of Stuttgart, just because of vaping. And actually, I had a conversation with Jay earlier about the stand for October. And it's had the biggest numbers go through the door of any expo to date. I think he said 6,000 or 7,000 people through the doors on Friday, which was the highest B2B day ever. Over 12,000 on Saturday, and about 8,500, 9,000 on Sunday. So I don't know whether it broke 25,000, but it's certainly higher figures than any expo to date. So all the people that are saying it was fucking dead, man, it was fucking dead. That hall was vast. And I mean, Jay said to me earlier, they had 2 4-meter red carpets running down the centre of the hall, which one, it funnels people so differently to the way that people have been funneled in the past. On Saturday morning when it opened, by 1 minute past 9, there was literally thousands of people around our stand because the dickheads right by the door were doing throwouts straight away, which they weren't supposed to do, which causes people to stop to pick up the free shit. And obviously there was fucking 6,000 people in the holding bay. We've had Tom, we had a consistently busy weekend from Friday right the way through till fucking. We were still serving at 4:45 on Sunday. Finished at 4 o'clock, so it was. In fact, Tom come to my house with 15 quid in his pocket because he sold some batteries after that. So, yeah, I mean, we've done more money at expos in the past. Financially, it weren't as good on the 3 days. However, we didn't do any direct wholesaling for money from the show because of sorting out the exclusion zones for the AF juice, etc. So, inquiry wise, I think we probably had more inquiries at this show than we've had at any other show. Anyway, everyone that I spoke to B2B said Friday was fantastic. In fact, I spoke to Dexter, and Dexter said that he's had his best B2B day forever, and that's why he was on the piss all day Saturday and Sunday, because he didn't need to fucking be there. So that's just Dexter. I was going to say Dexter would go on the piss regardless, but it's just a fantastic excuse for Dexter to go on the piss. I know we've seen Ben there from Six Licks. Ben said he'd had a really good business to business day as well. So genuinely, my expectations were superseding. I think the thing that I'm excited about is the amount of new. I mean, Jay said looking at the stats, it was about 50% people that went to that show over the 3 days had never been to a show before. And so if you're looking at sort of 12.5 relatively new vapors going to that experience, they're the very people that hopefully by the summer or later on in the year will be on tube and they'll be experimenting and playing and putting some life back into the community. They're the very people that will get excited going to vape meets and cloud comps and all the things that the old school vapors, quite frankly, have seemed to have become bored of. So from that point of view, I'm really excited about what it's properly put some fire back in my belly, that expo. From the point of view,
it did feel like an old school vibe, didn't it?
It had a strange vibe in there. It was like old school, but with new faces, and it was like, and I think that's because there was so many people in there that was new to that experience. They were excited, they were overwhelmed by the vastness of it, the amount of vendors that are in there. And they are the people that will go to vape meets now because they will start to create the new groups and the new community and the new groups of people. From that point of view, it can only be good things, man. I always think, anyway.
Definitely, I've had a few conversations and people saying was sort of felt like the old vibe, and I really want to emphasize on the fact is that people that said it was shit need to get a fucking life, because no shape or form was that shit at all. It was a lengthy expo, so it's long. It wasn't as wide as it usually is because it's usually spread out into the other hall.
350 meters long.
It was stupidly long. Like we've said it before, and we said it on last week's show when we was at yours, that us guys, if we ever get the time to walk about, we set our path and off we go. We just literally go on the path we need to. And we go into the toilet, we go on the same path. If we're going to the stage, we go on the same path. And we don't see everything that's around. And I think a lot of people who'd been before who said it was shit, either saying it was shit because there was no free stuff, or they didn't actually walk around properly and actually see everything because there was lots of things there.
There was lots of hardware there as well, actually. I mean, these expos are always going to be overrun by juice. This one in particular was overrun by CBD. The reality is that is the flavour of the month with the industry, and that's what's going to get pushed. And that isn't the fault of Jay or Lee who own Vaper Expo. That's the industry. It's just what it is. And if something new drops in August, you can bet your bottom dollar that's what's going to flood the expo in October. And so you know yourself, we were physically surrounded by CBD stands. See you in the morning, love you. We were physically surrounded by CBD stands. I haven't got an issue with that. I've got an issue. The only issue I've got with any stand that was there was ICOS, and that's because I don't believe they've got a place at a vaping convention because they don't. It's not vaping. It's. But apart, I mean, I haven't got a personal issue with ICOS. I'm not out to smash up ICOSs and all that other bullshit. I just don't believe they've got a place to be at the Vaper Expo. But it's not my call and not one that I'm going to get dramaed into. To be quite frank, it is what it is. It was what it was. I've seen lots and lots of people that I wanted to see. I had really good conversation with lots of people. We get to spend the weekend together with you guys that we don't do all the time, and the staff, and even spending the weekend with Tasha. As much as it's hard work, it's nice to have a walk around, and even going to fetch coffees or going to have a piss and having 10 minutes to have a walk around and bump into people. And it's good, man. And it was nice to see the old faces. It was nice to see Grey's there. It's nice to see the lads from Evo there. It's nice to see Ben, the Ace of Vapes lads, and the Zeus lads, and all them people that really have grown up. We've grown up around each other, and as much as there's lots and lots of new stuff out there, there was still lots of old school people there. Dexter, who's been going since God's Dog was a puppy, and to see him doing his new Retrospect brand, which is funky as fuck, and Al Cheapo, which is just the best thing ever. That Mr. Al Cheapo in his shopping trolley, he's just awesome, and Dexter smashed it with that. And then obviously we got an award on Sunday for best shell scheme stand of show, and Ben got an award for best fruit, and Dale Ace of Vapes, they picked up an award for the best cream, and all people that we've all grown up together with, man. And that's what I like. It's nice. It's nice that regardless of what's going on day in, day out, and week in, week out in the industry, we get to these places and have a good old chat and just to catch up and what we're doing and all them things is that's what I enjoy about it. And it's the first time ever. It's our 5th event. It's the first time ever that. But unless I went for a piss, unless I went to get coffee, unless me and Tash went for one walk to go and buy some knee pods, we went up to the stage twice to do the endless banter and to pick up the award. Apart from that, I was on our stand for the whole weekend, and every single person, bar Mark Wilkes, is the only other person that I actually looked for when I was walking. I seen him, we had a chat. Me and Max had a good old rattle. We had a bit of a Death Wish takeover on the stand at one point, and half of his team was on the stand, and that's awesome. That we can do that. And actually, Max is just a genuine stand-up gentleman, man. He's a proper straight-up guy. I've never seen Tom O'Connell.
I don't think he was there.
I don't know whether he was at Expo. He was certainly in Birmingham because I know that he was. So I'm not sure whether he was at Expo or not. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was a wicked show. It was a bit shit to walk out there at 6 o'clock on the night and realise it had been fucking 28 and 30 degrees all day on the bank holiday weekend, because when you're inside that, I mean, Saturday was just ridiculous. I don't know if they turned off the air conditioning or summit or was it Friday? I can't remember.
It was Saturday.
It was just fucking, it was horrible in there. Sunday was nice and chilled in there, and I've really loved the event. I've had a wicked weekend. I'm knackered, but we've had a really good weekend, and I just feel like that there was enough people there that was excited about the event to revive the whole community thing, which is something that is important to me because it's something that we should be doing all the time.
Do you think there was not much of a high spectricity of free shit? The free shit crowd was still there, or there just wasn't in their numbers.
There were a lot of people there who were just after free shit, and actually, I know that there was vendors doing giveaways from their stands that they weren't supposed to be doing. I haven't got an issue with that. It's up to them what they want to do. We've certainly never been one of them companies to be throwing out free shit from our own stand. It's not what we're about. However, the Endless Banter has been confirmed that we will be back on stage in October, which is awesome because that genuinely was a wicked half an hour on the stage. And it was good. The atmosphere off the crowd was good. We give away 3 mods and 3 full sets of liquid, which was wicked as well. Oh, excuse me. And
You're definitely feeling it.
man, we just got to think how we up our game and what we do differently and stuff like that. But Jay said the feedback from that's been really good, so we'll do that again. Jay and I are talking about doing an official cloud tour like we did before with V-Juice, but doing it through the Vaper Expo. And that's not confirmed at this minute in time, although it's something that we spoke about in length today, to do a tour and then have an official cloud comp on the stage with the air conditioning turned off, if that's what we do. So it'd be proper and done properly. So it's all good, man. I've had a wiki weekend as well. I'm knackered. I genuinely feel knackered today. I feel like I'm on a bit of a come down. But I love the weekend. What was your thoughts on the weekend, Thomas?
As you know, I was very much sort of worried about doing the endless banter on stage, and as I'm the same as you, sort of the vibe of sort of the community's been shitty for months and months and months. And the first thing I said to Abby when I got back, I went, do you know what? I actually really enjoyed that. And the reason I enjoyed it is not necessarily because, don't get me wrong, and everybody knows this, we work fucking hard, even from setting up to doing the show, then to packing down. We work fucking stupidly hard. I'm sure Paul's feet are as fucking red as mine after doing everything, because as Paul said, he was never off the stand. Obviously, we released the new AF Juice and the new Emperor, and I could just see in your face, Paul, you were buzzing to be there and get involved and everything like that. I could see it in your face. You was excited, and just the whole vibe of it came back, and it was it. And I like I said on the stage, it's about getting the community back and fuck the drama and just let's sort of have fun with it. And I really got that vibe back, and I've not been too fussed about it. And you know what I mean. I'm exactly the same as you. I lost the love for it when every sort of the community sort of started lacking, and I just felt that the show had a great impact again on, regardless of sort of ICOS there, and every other stand was CBD or a fucking pod system. The actual vibe of people being there was smiles, giggles, laughter, meeting new people you've never met before, actually learning a face rather than just a fucking square around your head.
Yeah.
Just generally the whole show itself for me personally was great because it was the vibe, and if there is not that atmosphere, then it's just a total flop for me, regardless of what's going on with us and the other people that are vending. It needs to have that atmosphere, and the atmosphere was booming. It was great to see the community sort of being like, fuck it. And when we got people up on the stage, it was like, do you know what I mean? We're going to do this differently. And I'll tell everybody now, and I'll put this on fucking record, I guarantee you in October, people will try to do giveaways differently this fucking time. But remember, we did it fucking first. We do shit differently, and people will fucking copy. So when you start seeing people eating fucking avocados and mangoes, eating the full fucking seeds out of a mango, you know fucking started this shit, because we started it. We wanted to bring the laughter back into this shit. And if anybody fucking copies, you know what I mean? Imitation is the best form of flattery. So fucking carry on doing your shit, because we will make next Expo October the fucking funniest, the best, and we will do as much as we fucking can to make sure people have smiles on the face. And I'm starting to grin from ear to ear, you know what I mean? I'm really buzzing to get back on that stage and to see what we can do again to get everybody involved. This time we'll probably have 10 people on the stage eating fucking flat baked potatoes or whatever. I don't fucking know, something crazy, just something mad. I am generally stoked about what we can see for the future, because this 6-month cycle we usually see has turned into an 18-month cycle, and it's sort of now giving us a kick up the ass to say people want stuff, people want to get back involved, people want to do shit, and that lights a fire back in our bellies to do shit. And people don't understand that if we don't have that fire, then we're not going to give out that fire. So make sure that our bellies are fucking rumbling and we're on fire. We'll carry on doing it, because I am honestly stoked, Paul. I couldn't stop smiling since I got home, because I really, really, really did enjoy myself. I never spent a penny. I never left the booth. And I absolutely loved my time I was there. It was brilliant. It really fucking was.
I never
So
took out a penny either. So I never slept. Is that you again, Tom? Echo.
possibly.
I spent about 650 quid on fucking coffee and water. Pods from Evolution. We went to Signature Tips because Tash wanted a black and purple squonk and he gave it to her. We went to Zeus Juice to get some Tooth Fairy or Death Boy Bunny or some liquid that Tash wanted, and Arthur hooked up with that. Apart from that, I don't think we spent anything ourselves, which was unusual, to say the least.
I think for me, Paul, and when I walked around and I was like, because this goes back to what you've been saying for months and months and months and months and months, that pod systems are the sort of new thing that are kicking in. And literally, I must have been seeing 10, 15 stands that are pod systems.
Yeah.
I definitely see that they've got a big swing in things because everybody sort of seems to be on this Nick Salt stuff. So when you see Salty AF, then you'll fucking know what's real. So I just thought, me personally, that there was a lot of different things there. Not necessarily, we know closed systems, we know pod systems, we know CBD, but it was very much, over, not saturated, but there was a lot of people doing that stuff. And obviously, personally, there was a lot of more hardware than there's ever been at a show. A lot more hardware.
I see more hardware by a long way, and actually people are still saying, fuck, I seen a 1-star review because some tramp was moaning that the free stuff wasn't getting thrown out far enough to the back of the stage, so they got nothing. To them people, I'd just like to say, suck more fucking fat one, you tramps, and you need to get a grip. I've seen people saying that, it's just full of juice, but the reality is, an event like that, one, there's a handful of UK mod companies. The American mod companies, AV, were there really via Superior Vaper, who were opposite us with Purge. Rig was on the Ace of Vape stand. Rogue was on the VIP Vapor stand. There's not really that much going on in the market, to be fair. I mean, everyone who needed to be there was there in some way, shape, or form. I know Jake from Addison Innovations come and we had about half an hour rattle on the stand, and he's on about doing October or looking to do October, or really asking me whether he thought it was worth him doing it. I mean, it's difficult for me to say because we're sort of getting in for 3 years. Excuse me, we're getting into 3 years in now, so we sort of literally prior to Endless coming out, the Mech market was a little bit more high end, a bit more elitist. It was a bit more, wasn't the mainstream. And from when we launched Endless, very quickly after that, Amma Vapory launched as AV. And we went through the maddest boom of Mech use ever certainly in my history of vaping. And then 200 watt, 220 watt, 225 watt Smock Alien type kits have become the norm. And there was a lot of them type of vapors at the expo. And on that basis, I do genuinely believe that they will be on a tube soon.
Did you not? I sort of felt that, and what generally saw as well, is that was a lot of people with a mech in one pocket and a pod in the other pocket.
Yeah, I mean that's me. I mean, you know what, mate? I did not run a mech personally all weekend. One, because we never even got the Emperors on the stand until about 11 o'clock on Friday morning because we had to go and pick them up directly from DHL. And then literally we were selling them. They've sold really, really well over the weekend. I've not even got an Emperor in my hand. I've only got the prototypes. So I haven't even got them. In fact, there is some in the house because I've got some brought to me yesterday just so I could get pictures done so we can get them up on the website and get them done. again, for me personally, it's nice to see the new mod doing okay. I was really, and I still am really excited about the liquid, and the feedback we had from the liquid is exceptional as it stands at this minute in time. Both from people that were trying it there and then at the stand, from vendors that already took stock previously the week before that have reordered and sold out and told us how well it's selling. And then also the feedback from the wire has been amazing as well. And obviously that, I don't know, but I'll stab a guess at saying we've just launched the biggest range of wire anywhere in the industry, as far as I'm aware. I don't know of anyone that's doing it on a bigger scale than what we've just launched. You've obviously got the likes of Flatwire doing their thing, and Vape do some of the pre-built stuff, but actually to stock 18 gauge Canthal up to 32 gauge Canthal, and the same in Nichrome 80, Nichrome 90, stainless steel, the coils of Alien, fuse Clapton, triple fuse Clapton, quad 5, 6 core fuse Clapton, staggered Clapton, normal Clapton. We've got some flat Clapton in there. We've got some Noise 60 coming on the next order. We've got some 1,000-foot spools coming on the next order for the builders. The feedback from the vendors saying, thank fuck, I've got somewhere where I can go to a one-stop shop and buy my wire. It's fantastic. So, I mean, for me personally, it's them things. It's like knowing that, or believing that we've made the right decision, because we've invested a huge amount of money in the last 4 months. Drawed ourselves out pretty much with the wire, with the liquid, with the ME, with the Emperor. And it's all big chunks of money. We don't do nothing but half. So we could have launched 20 different types of wire. We launched straight out with 6 gate variations, 3mm pre-made cores, 4mm pre-made cores, 5mm pre-made cores for single, for stacked, for regulated. Everything that you need is there, and if it's not, you can buy the same wire on the spools and make whatever you need to do to put in your mod. So that's exciting, because I think the wire can do great things. I think the liquid will do great things, and is doing great things. The Met mod market, we're still toying with it at the moment. I mean, last year we've seen a massive downturn in mech use. This year we've seen an uplift in that use. We've just started doing some work with the man behind, and I don't know whether Chris JB is still in the chat, but Chris JB is the man behind the Pandora. We're in talks with him at the moment about a design that he's got that we've both looked at and have both changed the design, and we're coming up with a brand new concept for a mech mod that is genuinely not like nothing else that's out there on the market. And really, by the time we've gone through that, I've got a physical sample in my house. I know Chris has had some modifications to that delivered to him this morning, which will get sent out to me tomorrow. By the time we've worked our way through, and very quickly before the live feed, Chris was just showing me and Tom, I've got an idea for a switch which will make it a permanent contact switch. Not so much, well, the switch is permanent contact to the battery, but the bottom half of the switch is also permanent contact to the mod. So you're not just relying on the tolerances of the firing pin within the switch housing to make contact. There is a definite contact between the firing pin and the mod body, which again cuts down on voltage drop. The way this switch is designed means that the switch should literally fire like butter. And the whole, I'm not even going to go into what the mod is, but the whole concept of that mod is fucking damn clever. And it's completely threadless apart from the 510. And that's only if you choose to use someone else's RDA, because if you use one of our RDAs, that will also be threadless. So the whole mod, including potentially the switch, the deck, the body, everything is completely threadless. And that's pretty cool, that is. And it's machined in such a way that I know Chris has done some voltage drop tests, even on the prototypes, and with an RDA on there, and the battery was at something like 1.13 straight off on the tester, and actually running through the mod and an RDA, it was at 4.12, so it dropped 0.01 of a volt to the RDA, which is just negligible. It's nothing. It's no voltage drop at all. So on that basis, I'm excited, man. We've got some good things to come this year. We're already working on the full spectrum CBD, which will be relaxed as fuck. We are working on the Nick salts, which will be salty as fuck. We are working on a brand new line for the AF juice, which will be 4 new profiles for another range within the range. So that'll be 16 flavors. Then we're working on a brand new 8 flavors, which they will still take the VG or the PG shot, but they will be geared specifically to mouth-to-lung vapors. So your tobaccos, your menthols, your ice menthols, your blackcurrant menthols, cherry menthols, Heisenberg type liquids, Red Astaire type liquids, them things will be dropping really, really soon as well. We've got the new 30mm mod to come out, the Empire, which is based on the ME, the Emperor, and then the Empire will finish that off with the 30mm. We had the sample for the 18350 mod at the show. I'm not even sure if it's still in my pocket or not. It is. No, it's not. I don't even know where that is. I must have left it. Is it down there? No, I don't know. So the 18350 and the 18500 prototype bodies come in. That mod in 18350 looks the tits, man. It's fucking tiny. So we've got lots going on, man. We've got a lot. I'm excited, genuinely excited about what this year brings. I'm really, really excited about this project we're doing with Chris. And we just keep trying up our game. I've spoke to 2 companies today about a pod system that we could release either under the Endless guys or the AF guys, and that's something that I want to look at doing. So there's lots and lots and lots to do.
Which is awesome to hear. But I'm sorry to go from positive to negative, but I think we should talk about 2 negative things that happened at Expo. So one of them being that we had a tester stolen. And I also think about the negative one where somebody told them that it was their birthday and you kindly told them, get to fuck. So I just want to talk about the negative side, because there's, with all the positive and all the greatness that we've got going on and everything like that, there's always going to be somebody trying to stick the knife in. So I just want to hand it over to Paul to basically tell the person who ever stole our mod to get fucked. I'm going to take your head off if we ever find who it was. And somebody who wants free shit is definitely ballsy to walk up to Paul and ask for free shit straight up. What was your opinion on that sort of situation, Paul? Obviously, I know you was very fucking pissed off about the mod getting fucking stolen within inside 45 minutes.
I was more pissed off that actually, for whatever reason, we forgot to take the spare mods to the show, and we had to get someone from the shop to run us up a mod and another tank and get the tester set up again. We got fucking overwhelmed in the first 2 hours on Saturday. It was ridiculous around the stand. It was like fucking, and we had a big frontage. We had 12 meters across the front. We had 3 meters down the side. So in essence, we had 15 meters worth of frontage on that stand. It's up there with the widest stand anywhere on that event. I think 16 meters is possibly the biggest width. So we were rocking 15 meters worth of frontage. We were overwhelmed for the first 2 hours. The staff were trying their best to manage and deal with all the customers, and in that time, some dirty, horrible tramp chooses to pinch one of the mods, and it's just like, it grips my shit that we literally had a woman from UWA walk up to us with a goodie bag, and it's got a 220 watt mod and tank set in it that they give to us. Now, I'm not advocating that you go to these events looking for free shit, but the bottom line is, if you look for free shit at these events, you're going to find some free shit. There's absolutely no reason to steal a fucking mod and a tester tank off the stand, man. It's just fucking tramper. And the geezer that come and told me it's his birthday, I don't give a fuck whose birthday it is, man. I ain't fucking Father Christmas, and I ain't the birthday fairer. And again, mate, we went on that stage, we went up there, we made 3 people eat onions to win a mod. They all ate them at the same time on the proviso that 2 people would lose. The bottom line is, when we finished that half an hour set, and then 3 people have stood there with tears running down their eyes, snot running out of their nose, fucking gagging on Spanish onions the size of fucking pineapples. I felt bad not giving them a mod, and all 3 of them won a mod, and all 3 of them won a Ranger liquid. I don't mind giving stuff away, man, but I have to give it to the right people, and someone who's prepared to get up on stage and join in and have a bit of banter I'm more than happy to share some shit with them. But just to walk up to me blatantly and tell me it's your 20, not only was it his 22nd birthday, he used to have an endless mod and it was the best mod he ever had. And I was a bit like, what do you mean you used to have an endless mod? And he says, I traded it. And I says, we weren't that fucking good then, was it, you mad cunt? He said, no, I traded it by accident, man. It was the best mod I ever had, and I wish that I wish I'd have kept it. And I said, well, you're in luck, mate, because we had clean mods for 35 quid on the stand, normally 64.99, 35 quid for a mod. On the basis that we're not making the clean mod anymore, so it was a bit of a case of let's clear it out, and we've met way for the new stuff to come in. And he was like, and I says, you're in luck then, mate. We've got the clean mods are reduced to £35. I think they were 50 quid with an RDA. So it's like a £95 setup that we sell it for on our website still now for fucking 50 quid. And he was like, yeah, I just wanted to remind you again, it's my 22nd birthday. I don't give a fuck, mate. I don't know what you.
He's lucky to learn that whole spiel to you, hadn't he?
Yeah, it's like he had rehearsed it, weren't it? And like when I took the notice of the fact he was 22, he had to like go back to his script. And I says, happy birthday. But yeah, if you want a mod, mate, knock yourself out. They're over there for sale. And then he was like, well, I've bought the ticket. And honestly, what I'm trying to do is I'm going to go around and say how much free stuff I can get and how many hoodies and hats I can get. Is there any chance of him? He hadn't even finished. And I was like, none. There's no chance, mate. And he's like, all right, and thank you for your time. And he just walked off, man. Not even like embarrassed, just straight up cheeky cunt.
Some people, man, I just had to mention that because people don't see that side of things. People might see free shit getting thrown out and whatnot, but you don't actually see what a vendor has to actually deal with, especially when we've been on the stage and already give away fucking £700 worth of gear already.
Mate, we had a woman come up to the stand. Bearing in mind, I'm not saying our juice is the best juice in the world. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I am confident that we've created 12 really, really good profiles of liquid. And the feedback from them up till now has been exceptional. We've not had any one flavour that has been repeated. In fact, I've not had anyone say any of the flavours are shit. I've had people say that one's not my cup of tea. And then some woman come over and she was like, she tried them and she was like, oh, these are really nice, aren't they? And in fact, Jack's Mrs. Robin was serving her. No, sorry, your missus was serving her. Abby was serving her. And she was like, oh, really nice they are. So how much is it for 4? Now, bearing in mind, these are 8 quid each retail. 4 bottles is 32 quid in the shop. We were doing 4 bottles of a range for 20 quid with the shots. So it's a fiver for 30 mil. Might sound expensive compared to UK vape deals, fucking shed brews that are going out there for fucking 7 quid for 120 mil, but it is what it is. But we were selling the full range for 20 quid, so you could buy the 4 creamy flavours for 20 quid. Now she's nearly vaped all the fucking tanks dry for starters because she's a fucking out and out tramp and probably had no liquid on her, so she's took full advantage of the fucking taste test bar. Saying how nice there was, and when she come to buy them, she was like, so that's a tenner then? And Abby was like, no, 20 quid. And she's like, nah, 10 quid. And she's like, no, 20 pound. And she's like, come on, tenner, man. Do them for a tenner. Nah, 20 quid. Oh, stick them up your ass in the fucking shit. You're just a fucking tramp. I mean, let's be honest about this. You're a fucking tramp. And if I do understand why people want free stuff at Expo. However, if you find a flavour that you like, bearing in mind this market is saturated with fucking shit juice. So if you can vape a flavour that you like and go, you know what, that's right up my fucking street, and it's going to cost you 5 quid to buy that bottle of liquid, don't be an arse and fucking bounce off telling me it's shit just because we're not giving it to you. I'm just reading through the comments here. Reese Vaughan said he was working on the Evolution hardware stand. He had someone go over and ask if there was any samples of hardware that they could have. You should have said, yeah, man, and clumped him with the fucking hammer. The hammer's classed as hardware, Shula. Yeah, send him out. I didn't have the dirty stack to do it till Sunday.
Neil Pugsley said it's also the one staying at the main stage waiting for freebies. That's annoying. people spent majority of their expo stood around that stage. That stage was never empty, even on breaks. People were still at them stages.
No,
But
I mean, obviously, we done that fucking manic giveaway at Expo in October. Fair, I would say, single-handedly fucked up giveaways forever at the Vaper Expo because it was ridiculous. And I know following that giveaway, there was two things that happened. I obviously posted the picture of that tramp who was stood on her obesicle, catching free shit out the crowd, stood on the disability scooter.
we tell everybody the name of that again.
The obesicle. and to be honest, I posted it for fucking shits and giggles. And I had a phone call off the expo saying that the woman's been on the phone and she's not very happy. And basically, what in essence, she wanted some free shit to get over this, get her over her anxiety of being photographed stood balancing on one foot on a fucking disability scooter. And I said to her, look, get a name and address and I'll gladly send her something out. And the other thing was that they felt that our giveaway at the end of the day, which was the last giveaway, right after the minute silence we'd done for Twitch's pal who'd passed away, it got a bit out of control. And to be fair, it probably did. We threw out about £10,000 worth of stuff in about fucking 6 minutes. It was ridiculous. And on that basis, one of the things we had to sign to vend this year was, one, we were not allowed to do any giveaways from the stand, from our own personal stand. And two, you were not allowed to throw stuff overarm into the crowd. And you pretty much, you had to pass shit out. So it's no longer a throw out, it's a fucking pass out. Now, obviously, when you're on that stage, you can't pass it out 6 rows back. So for me personally, had I been doing a giveaway where we were giving stuff physically away to any random people, I'd have took a bag of stuff and we could have all walked the crowd and handed it out. So we'd have gone shallow, deep, middle, back, front, left, right, whatever. The people that were camping around the stage are literally waiting for the next. Like, fucking hell, man. The closer I am to the front, the more chance I've got of free shit. Now, I don't get spending an experience like the Vaper Expo camped around that stage looking for free shit, because actually, if you waited until fucking 10 to 4 on Sunday and had a walk around, there's lots of people giving away lots of stuff. For us personally, we don't do it because our shop's fucking 6 miles down the road and we don't need to. We pack it back up and we take it back to the shop. But there's lots of people that are traveling back abroad, traveling back anywhere, and they're a bit like, you know what, fuck it, man, give it away or sell it dirt cheap. And so there's no need to waste your whole experience of a Vaper Expo camped at the stand with a fucking bottle of water and a fucking bag of sandwiches, so you don't have to. So I bet some of them are wearing like fucking Always Ultra, so they could literally stand there and take a piss without losing their spot. And it's just like, I don't know, you don't sit right with me. More from the fact that it's a mad experience to go to these events and then to waste it just waiting for shit to be thrown at you is just ridiculous.
It's just stuff like this is just every year we mention it, but it has to be mentioned because people don't fucking realise that they're annoying and they're never going to get a chance of getting anything. It's fucking gonna happen. Reese is saying here, a lady got hit in the head with a bottle of juice this year as well. Last year it happened when we
Mate,
used
she
to give out.
was fucking diving across the fucking stage and caught her head on someone's bastard boot. Someone did get their head cut open, hit with a bottle of juice. But that said, there was also stands doing mad giveaways as well, which is worse than at the stage because there's not enough area around any of them stands anywhere in that expo to create the hype of a lot of people around the stand. So obviously from the expo's point of view, when you've got potentially 2,000 people around one of these stands in aisles that are 2 meters wide, you've got a massive fire risk if something goes fucking Pete Tongue as well. So we abided by the rules because we said that we would. When we left Expo last year, to be honest, after watching that mad geezer on King of Vape stand and working that stand all weekend, I did feel like we could do something similar and actually attract our own people to our own stand and have a little stage area and all that malarkey. When I spoke to Jay, it was basically a no, you can't do it. So there was people doing it, and that's their business, not mine. It's got fuck all to do with me.
What I liked about the stage, though, Paul, I don't know if you noticed it as much as I did, because I went up on Thursday when we got there, when we were setting up. When I went to the toilet, I actually walked up to the stage, went on it, and it actually really helped with the metal bars actually round the stage, because they've never ever done that before. And before I've remembered, like last year, me and you've gone up with a handful of juice and just gone there on the floor and just watched these scavengers jumping onto the stage. But I actually quite liked had the barrier around it, because it was a lot more controlled on the stage for people who was on the stage. It was a lot more safer for us on the stage, so you wasn't having people literally grabbing your fucking ankles for a 10 ml bottle. And I sort of thought that the organisation, I know I broke a rule and I'm expecting a disciplinary anytime soon now for going up the wrong side of the stage. But there was a lot more control on the stage regarding.
Yeah, I mean, again, when I spoke to Jay today, they actually had permanent security on the stage, and not so much security guards, but people to say, do not come up that side of the stage. You must only come on from that side. You must leave from that side. And they've got squares around the corner of the stage, so you couldn't go into them white squares, and obviously to stop people falling off. I've seen in October 2 people injure themselves, genuinely injure themselves, by diving like Peter Shilton to save a fucking goal for England, to catch a fucking nick shot or something, you know what I mean? And both of them put some sort of claim into the Vaper Expo. And actually both of them were fucking tramps, because they literally injured themselves diving for free shit. Now, the way that the stage was set up this year was that couldn't happen. And for me, it's better. It actually, if the audience have got to get involved to do something, to win something, it's much better than throwing out handfuls of stuff to any unsuspected. I actually felt really nice giving them 3 lads a new mod and a full range of liquid. But I also love the fact that in front of potentially, I don't know how many people around that stage, 2,000-3,000 people. The vibe up there is wicked, man. You get into it big time, and I know we were both shitting ourselves before we got up there. But once it starts flowing and everything's happening and you get into your rhythm, the fact that you can get that feedback off all them people and get 3 random people to come up on stage in front of all them people and try and eat a Spanish onion as quickly as possible to win a mod. Even the geezer that would have won said to me, I weren't really that asked about the mod, mate. It was actually more just getting up and having a good banter and getting involved and some shits and giggles. And for me, that's what it's all about. Do you know what I mean? The giving away and the winning the stuff at the end of it is an absolute bonus. But
yeah, I think we
genuinely loved that half an hour set, man. It was wicked.
I think out of everybody we could pick, I think the 3 lads we did actually pick, we didn't know them from Adam. We've never met them before. We've never seen them before. Paul literally picked the little lad because he was a fucking little lad. Paul picked El Chapo because we called him El Chapo because of his pants, and the big lad in the hat was just a fucking tall bastard that was there. Yeah. And what really, really, really amazed me was the humbleness after it. You know, they've literally stood on stage. We've absolutely ripped the piss out of them for about 15 minutes, absolutely annihilated them. And especially that tall lad, Adam, I think he was called, when he came back to the stand and he came to get his mod and he came to get his juice, he was the most humble geezer. He was like, I really appreciate it. Can I take a picture with you? And thank you. I'm really pleased you did it, because it was real good fun. It was banter. It was a laugh. It was really good. You know, nobody really wanted to sort of get involved, but they did it because it was fucking fun. Nobody's really standing up and going, I want a free mod, so I'm going to eat an onion. The lads literally did it for fucking laugh, because they were lads. Yeah. And it was really humbling that they were like, thank you, really appreciate it. It's something different. We really actually enjoyed it, even though I absolutely fucking stink and our lads don't want to touch us. Like you told that lad, you said to him, I don't know, I've never seen your lads, so that might be a good thing. Just little one-liners where we were just.
No, but the trouble is, mate, you have this banter, and you don't know if some cunt's going to take the ump and start swinging for me. Then I've got to run down to the stand, get the quad stacked, and fucking hammer him with the fucking mod, and it all gets messy and out of hand. But actually, they all took it in good spirit, and even like shouting over to the zoo stand at the end of the day, were they flogging our mods, were they flogging our liquid, were they flogging our water? For me to shout out Arthur at Zeus, he's no hardship to me. To shout out El Cheapo across the way next to Retrospect, he's no hardship to us. because actually that is important, that we all are sort of singing from that same sheet and supporting each other, and regardless of what we're doing and regardless of what how the business is, the more that we work together, I promise you, the more this community will come right. And it just we seem to. I always relate to expos as being like them man. I think I said it on our video last week. It's a bit like the old management team building things that you go on at work, and you go on them and everyone comes back all buzzed up, and within a month, no cunt sitting next to anyone in the canteen because you're all a bunch of wankers and fuck you. You worry about your departments and let me worry about mine. An expo always makes me come away with this feeling that, you know what, we're just on the cusp of changing back to where it was. And the reality is business takes over, and within a week, within 2 weeks, within a month, within 2 months, everything's back to normal. Everyone's busy getting ready for the next expo show. We get to expo, everyone's loving each other, everyone's happy. We come away, we're all going to set the world on fire, and so the circle of life continues within the world of vaping. I just hope that there's enough newcomers at these shows to want to go to vape meets if they're called up at the shops, and want to enter the cloud competitions and want to get involved. I mean, I entered loads and loads and loads of cloud competitions, never ever to win, actually just to get involved, just to do something. Tom kicked me out of the vape meet, the cloud comp at Grey Eyes, the fucking fat div. When we went there on the VGod tour, we literally travelled round everywhere. We were fucking going round all these. We went to Grey Eyes in Nottingham. We went to Evo. We've been to vape meets at Highland Clouds. Fucking, we done our own tour and went Cardiff. We went London. We've always tried to, as a business. Obviously, when we go to these events and we've all got shady vaping t-shirts on or whatever they are, it's a cheeky little plug for your own thing. But the bottom line is we went there to support them shop. We drove to Nottingham to support Doc at Grey Eyes in his new shop at the time. And we didn't need to. We'd already done King's Heath, where you kicked me out of the fucking cloud comp, you div. We'd already done Evolution, etc. So on that basis, we didn't need to go to Grey Eyes Nottingham, but I went there because I like Doc and I like what he's about, and I like him as a person, and actually just showed a bit of support. And I think we went up to Grey Eyes 10 strong. Do you know what I mean? The last that's going back 3 years ago. It would be 3 years this summer coming since that happened. And actually, the vape meets we've put in on our shop, in fact, the last 2 vape meets we've done at Dudley, I've really enjoyed, because, in fact, one of them, we didn't even bother having the fucking cloud comp in the end. We were just a bit like, fuck it, actually. Everyone's enjoying themselves. Everyone's calm. There was a bit of music playing in there. People were vaping. People were having a drink. People were having a laugh. You know what? Fuck the cloud comp, man. Let's just, it's like, it doesn't need to be there, but then we've got a different core of people at them vape meets. If we can get new blood into the industry, and I believe from that show that we can, then actually when we have the next vape meets at Dudley, I believe we'll start to see new faces. I believe we'll start to see people moving on to mix, getting onto the cloud scene, getting back into the trick scene. And that very thing alone right there will regenerate this industry, because they'll carry the same excitement that we carried 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And we just seem to have had an 18-month lull of that not happening. People still do go to vape meets, but then you get to vape meets and they're full of little cliques. And you've got the same atmosphere as what you've got on Facebook, but in real life. And it's a bit like, what the fuck, man? Just everyone just calm down a bit and just get involved and have a laugh. And
I think that's definitely what I want to see. I think we can't emphasize enough that it's got to be about the community bringing that sort of vibe back. We can't do it as vendors as much as we'd like to, and we fucking tried. You know, we're literally shouting at a fucking wall saying, people, come on, get this community back to where it was. Let's have a bit of fun. Let's do this. Let's do that. And people are sort of shutting us down from what we want to do. And unless the community actually full force get behind us, and I think these new faces, as you say, will do it, but it's all 100% down to the community. There's only so much we can do. We can obviously organise meets, and we can sort out cloud comps, and we can do stuff on stages at Expo, but unless the community actually get involved and want to be involved, we'll what's the point in us doing it? So we can't emphasize enough to the community is if you want to see that stuff, make sure you fucking shout for it, tell us, and we'll sort it. That's simply it. But we can't do it if nobody wants to do it. So hopefully this new run of vapors and these new faces will get the old crowd back into fucking what it should be.
You know, I don't even think they'll get the old crowd back. You know, I think, honestly, I mean, I was speaking to the likes of Chris Bones, man. He's an old school verse vapor, and he's been round the fucking ran the game for a long time, and he's a proper nice lad, Chris is, and Ollie Deeks and them sort of people. They're still heavily involved in the industry, but in a different way. It's like, say, I'll bump into Ollie, and we always have a proper good talk, and I'll bump into Chris and we all Bones, and we always have a proper good talk. And the same with the lads from Grays, and the same with the staff at Evo. And there's never an issue, really. There's never no drama. But actually, they don't get excited by blowing a cloud anymore.
No.
And then you've got the newcomers that won't go into the cloud comps because the old school people are still at the events, but they're stood in the background and not even mocking them. But it's quite daunting. I mean, even me, I've always been quite a face within this industry because we were one of the early people on board. But to walk into the likes of Grazy's shop in King's Heath and fucking get my mod out and blow a cloud against people, ultimately, I mean, I always turned it into a bit of a banter and a bit of a joke and a laugh. I'm still trying my hardest. I'm blowing out my ass to fucking try and win that fucking competition, just to prove a point, just to go, hey, fuck you all. But obviously, the more you do that and the more you get involved, the more you get recognised. And Ollie was renowned for blowing clouds. What Ollie done, and he only got that by blowing clouds and entering competitions. I can't remember the chap who's sponsored for Flat Boy. Was it Tom Walls?
Yeah.
And the big lad, and I mean Tom. When I spoke to Tom there, and Corey's like fucking technique king, man, for fucking cloud blowing, and he's a proper nice lad. But Tom said to me he's just come back from America and he's been entering some comps in America, and to do that from vaping is pretty good, man. It's madness to think that you can go to another country and enter a little competition to blow the biggest cloud, and then you've got people then going, what the fuck's all that about, man? It's supposed to be about not smoking. Not smoking, he's walking into your shop and saying 3 bottles of menthol, please, and 1 call for an aspire noiseless. Thank you very much. See you later. There's my money. I'm out of here. What I want to see back is that old school community spirit vibe, whatever it was, is gone. And but I genuinely feel that this event this weekend has the makings to revive that. And I spoke to Jay. Jay spoke to me at the event and says, "How do you feel about doing a Vaper Expo indoors tour?" And I was like, absolutely. For the same reasons we tried it last year, which was to get new people into the shops, to get them to enter the competitions, get a placement, to come on main stage at Expo in October and try and win that competition and be crowned UK Cloud champion or whatever it is. And then we do the same again next year if it works. And we get new people coming in and we get the old people dragging other people in. I can remember Aaron, who used to work for us, and he helped us out over the weekend at Expo. I remember him saying to me, I'm doing a live thing. And I know he was in the Hoop Wankers group or whatever it was with Slick and all of them boys. And I'd never really seen tricking because I never tricked myself. And I remember Aaron done this and he won it and he got a Hoops Wankers t-shirt and all of that. And I was a bit like, you dickhead. I was a bit like, it's a bit stupid. But actually, when the lads come over from America with the V-God Trick team, to watch them performing in the shops, man, was something else. They're on the next level. Like, literally, it was just ridiculous. And you're echoing, like, fuck there, Tom.
Let me turn my mic off. Just to answer Pixie, yes, we'll be there in October, and yes, we'll be there all days. I don't think Paul's going to go on Saturday and say, guess what, lads, fuck it, we're off. I think he'll run it through the whole weekend. I just think that's a bit what will be happening. I hope I'm not echoing. Let's have a look. Got to agree, I proper got into it back in 2015, 2016, etc. And it just got boring for me now. I wouldn't dare. I don't think it got boring. I don't think we could ever state that sort of us going into the meets and going into cloud comps got boring. I just think it was, everybody sort of moved on, and it's going back to sort of look at everybody now. There's a lot of people that use Tube, also gone back to mouth to lunging. The circle of vaping is very fucking broad, and sort of everybody moves from this to this. And then all of a sudden there'll be a huge surge in sort of cloud comps and everything like that. But once again, doing the cloud comps, and as Paul said, going to the shops and doing the cloud comps was all about having a bit of a laugh. That's what it was. It was seeing your mates in a situation where it wasn't all about business, and it was just having a laugh with your pals and just having some shits and giggles. And I think that's very much being lost in this community. You know, we've said it plenty of times, Paul, clickiness ruined this industry.
It's mad time. I'm just thinking now about sponsors and stuff like that, and sort of people endorsing products 2 years ago was quite different to people endorsing products now. And I see a handful of people daily on Facebook hand checking stuff that I know 100% has been given to them, telling everyone it's the best thing since sliced bread. And it means nothing to me whatsoever. And I'm pretty sure when you look at the likes on most of these posts, it means nothing to no one. But that's because there's no background to it at all. But back in the day, all he did was go to a competition, see his way through the stages, win the competition. People would be saying, "What wire are you using, mate? Hot wires, because I'm sponsored by Hot Wires, I believe. And this is the type of build I'm doing." And Mikey Subhomer's the same, and all these sort of big names. Steve Dorrington was probably single-handedly responsible for selling about 2 million HE4 batteries, because that's what he was using. And because he was using them, and because he was smashing out cloud comps with them, people wanted HE4 batteries. There's no one I can think of genuinely at this minute in time that's got any clout within the industry on a sponsorship.
It's brand. It was very much brand loyalty back then, and whatever you used, and it was sort of, if you're sponsored by, there wasn't juice sponsors back then. It was all about wire and hardware, and there wasn't that juice. There isn't. Everyone's sort of got fucking 12 juice sponsors. Where's the fucking brand loyalty in having 12 juice sponsors? It makes no sense to me. You like a juice, you get sponsored by that company by working your tits off to get noticed by them. You fucking support that company with your brand loyalty, and you follow them through the thick and thin. There's none of that anymore. It's literally, what free shit can I get, and how many companies can I get sponsored by? It's like measuring your dick on Instagram of how many sponsors you've got. There's no loyalty. How can somebody? I just want to question the chat. If you look at somebody's Instagram and they've got 12 fucking sponsors of juice on their profile, and you ask them, what's your favorite juice, and they name every single fucking 12 of them, is that what they're going to send you? They're not going to send you one juice, because they're not, ain't got no brand loyalty, because they've got 12 fucking juice sponsors that send them juice packages every month. So where is the loyalty with the brands? It was all about grafting your fucking ass off, making sure you got noticed, making sure the people that were in that brand was the people you wanted to hang around, because that's where you were staying, because you were being loyal as fuck. And now it's just, what free shit can I get? Where is the brand loyalty? There isn't any. It's zero. And as Paul's saying, people put juice up, oh, this is the best juice on the market, $2.99 for 120ml fucking bottle. Get the fuck out of here. It's chatting shit. We know it. People are coming wise to people who talk utter shit about, oh, this juice is the best, that juice is the best. No, we know for a fact juice is subjective, and the fact is that if you like this juice doesn't mean you're going to like it. Try it and go from there. And it's simple as that. And it bugs me, fucking 100% bugs me. Really fucking does, because there is no loyalty. It's non-existent.
That is exactly my point. Is when you look at the likes of, I mean, Chris has just said he was on the Hot Wires team. He also said that he was on the Rogue team, but he spent 700 quid on Rogues, and then Tom kicked him off 2 days later. So,
truth.
Is that true?
That's the truth.
You horrible cunt.
But I didn't kick him off the team. I got told to kick him off the team. I basically took the bug. I took the fucking shit. So don't shoot the messenger.
For 700 because he was up put on the team, and then they kicked him off the team. So, was you that hard up to sell some Rogues back then, Tom?
No.
What me selling? It won't be that booted him.
Tell you what, if anyone spends £700 on our website tonight on Endless Mods, I'll put you on our fucking team. No, I mean, you know what? We've never ever advertised for sponsors. just on the basis that we sponsored 2 people. We sponsored Andy, who's now sponsored by the Vaper Expo, and we sponsored 4 people actually. We sponsored Andy first, and we sponsored Richard Worrell, who's now sponsored by Vapers Cloud, right back at the start. And that was literally, both of them lads were buying our product. They were repping it on Instagram. They were just buying it at normal price, doing what they got to do. And we actually just noticed the fact that they were tagging us in posts and working our brand for us on social media. And I said to Tom,
100%.
message them, give them a discount code. I think we give them 40% discount code and sponsor them. And it was literally a thank you from us to say, you know what, lads, we appreciate what you're doing. And for me, that's exactly how a sponsorship should work. We then sponsored Stu because he was a friend, and I never expected anything from Stu as far as, like, obviously Andy and Richard were sponsored with some conditions, one of them being that they couldn't rep other people's mods because it makes a mockery of what they're doing if they're saying this is the best mod, this is the best mod, this is the best mod, this is the best mod. Stu never had them restrictions because we sponsored Stu because he was a pal. And if Stu wanted to use a Vapers Cloud mod, or he wanted to use a rig mod, or he wanted to use a suicide box, or whatever he wanted to use, he was free to do that. And obviously Stu didn't have a discount code because he was sponsored by Evo at the time, so he couldn't give out our discount code anyway. That said, Stu didn't need a discount code to buy the stuff because we give him anything that he wanted. It was never an issue. And then we sponsored Joe Walker, was his name.
Yeah.
And that was, again, because Joe was a good lad, but then Joe went off the scene and we stopped sponsoring him because he wasn't doing anything, but he was having mods off us and reduced price mods and not really getting nothing for it. For me now, it's like we sponsor Adele's group. We don't sponsor Adele. We don't send Adele free product week in, week out because we don't. We've spoke to Adam the weekend about sponsoring him for us, for Shady Vaping, for Building, for AF, for Endless. And again, as a thank you for the hard work that they do, repping our brand. And for me, to have anyone repping any of our products and then saying, this fucking Sublime is the best lime liquid in the absolute world, Paul's fucking genius, Ace of Vapes are the best thing since sliced bread, Tasha's marvellous, the liquid's wonderful, Tom's brilliant. To then try another lime liquid next week that they've been given free and say, this is the nicest lime liquid I've ever tried. He's just bollocks, man. It stands for nothing for me. And I would genuinely rather have a loyal team of people around us that chose to rep our products. And I would rather reward them without the official terms of a sponsorship than start sponsoring people and giving away liquid at certain volumes per month and based on sales and all of that malarkey, because everything they do then becomes around getting the biggest care package they can get for the amount of product that they've sold, and it starts to look fickle as fuck.
It really does.
And I mean, I said to Adele months and months and months ago, no code has ever been used as much as Adele's code, apart from Mech Addiction, which became the generic 10% off on our website across the whole of the internet. But as far as individual people, Adele has sold a huge amount of product through her code. She works tirelessly repping us, and everyone thinks that Adele is like sort of blowing smoke up our arse. But honestly, she's genuine as far as what she's saying about what she likes, what she don't.
Yeah, because the first thing people say is like, oh, well, you send her this and you send her that and you do this and you do that. Nah, not once.
You know what? We've given Adele very little stuff.
Adele got more messages than us.
Adele's answering messages about the mods. People are messaging Adele direct about, I've got a problem with my Switch, I've got a problem with this, and she'll act as the middleman. She don't get a wage off us. We don't pay Adele to do what she does for us. We don't pay Adam to rep our products. They do it because they love doing it. And actually, I says to Adele months ago, I will never ever sponsor you because it will make a mockery of everything that you say. As it stands at this minute in time, she knows that we're not going to sponsor her personally. We sponsor a group. She's got a big group, goes out to big numbers. And she never know if Adele was only doing what she was doing for free shit off us, her passion for what we're doing would have died out by now, and it hasn't. She's
doing a shit job if that's all she wants is free stuff. She's doing a shit job.
No, that exactly. And even like when she does the smut giveaways or the Voopoo giveaways or whatever else, she's probably got 12 or 14 sponsors on that group. I'm nothing to do with that group. I'm not admin on that group. I know that Tash is admin on that group, but I also know that they have conversation in that where they've gone to the page sponsors and said, listen, we agreed that you would give us X amount of product to give away to our members in a month. You're not doing it. If you don't do it, we're dropping you. And we're not dropping you because we're not getting free shit for us. We promised we would give free shit to our members. And there's companies out there that think Adele's stupid and she hasn't got the brain she was born with, and they can mug her off and take her for a cunt. She's not stupid by any stretch of the imagination. She might come across as being stupid. She says some stupid things. She talks very, very quickly before her brain's engaged. But actually, when she sits back and thinks, and I mean, Adele's messaged me and says, Paul, I've got this sponsor. They said to do this for me. They haven't done it. What do you think I should do? And I've says, fuck them off. Do you know what I mean, you don't need any sponsor on that page that is only there purely for themselves. I sponsored that page in the early days because it had big numbers and I felt it could benefit our business. Actually, now I sponsor it because I've got a huge amount of respect for Adele and what she does. Because I do genuinely think she's passionate, because I've spoke to Adele on a personal level. She come to Expo in October. I've spoke to Adam at Jam. He come down to our Vape meet. I've seen them at Expos. They're genuine people, and they get tarred with this free shit hunting brush by people that are out there on the daily hunting free shit, blowing smoke up people's arses, saying that this mod's the best thing since sliced bread. I've had people saying that I've seen live feed the other day come up in my news feed when the bloke was saying how much of a genius I was for creating the Empress and how perfect it was, and now it's shit because he's not got no alliance to us anymore, so therefore it's very shit, and I'm just like, you just look like a cockmate, an absolute dickhead, and I wouldn't have no one around me repping our products that are just saying the things they think I want them to say, because it stands for absolutely nothing for me. That's the absolute truth.
It doesn't. It really doesn't stand for anything, because then, as you said, it's not her that's personally sponsored. It's the group, and she's doing it for people on the page. So if anybody moans that they fucking haven't doing any free shit or she's getting free shit or whatever, she's not. She's doing it for the people on the page. Don't get me wrong. She probably does really enjoy doing the live feed. She does like doing it and obviously putting her face out there. We all love it. We're on a live feed now. We obviously enjoy putting our faces out there because we wouldn't do it if we didn't. So that is obviously a benefit for us. But to actually enjoy it, that is one of the main things. You've got to enjoy it to do it. And you've said this plenty of times, Paul. If we didn't enjoy it, we won't fucking do it. The minute the passion goes, we're like, yeah, whatever, we won't do it. We'll just carry on endless as normal, and we'll just get it on, and we won't show our faces. We won't do the live feeds. Won't do this and that. We do it because we genuinely enjoy it. And it's one of the greatest things out there to actually communicate directly with consumers. It is the best thing. Zuckerberg's not on fucking Facebook private messaging you all to fucking sign up to his ads and stuff. You know what I mean? He doesn't have any. These are big corporation companies. This is the only industry where you can actually get so close to the owners of companies. It's fucking unreal. Paul should really be telling everybody to fuck off, but that's not the person he is. He wants to be involved with the community.
Don't get me wrong, mate. There's days where people have messaged me, and if I've got the time, I'll answer them and I'll deal with it. Most of the time now, I will say to them, message the Facebook page, or if it's something that I know you can deal with specifically, I'll say, message Tom. If I know if it's a posting issue and I know Tash can sort it, I'll say, do us a favour, message Tasha, because I'm just not going to get round to sorting out. That's not because I've got above my station and I no longer want to speak to these unions. Because quite honestly, I genuinely, my best part of Expo is that whole people coming over with an endless mod in their hand saying, I just want to say thanks, mate. I love this mod. It got me vaping, or it got me off regulated onto mechs. them things for me. I've had inbox after inbox after inbox since Sunday saying this wire's fucking on point. I'm using the 5-core fuse Clapton. It's fucking brilliant. It's this. That. Even Adele earlier messaged me, and to be fair, I haven't even answered her because I was in a meeting when she messaged. And Adele's messaged me privately just to say, "Oh, look, no shit. These pre-mades are fucking brilliant." Now she's got no cause to do that. You know what I mean? And I know that message from her dad is just to say, "Fucking hell, these are brilliant," because that's what she genuinely thinks. She hasn't put it in. She hasn't tagged me in a post on Facebook, and I know she's done a live feed today, building. Which I've seen very, very little of because it's obviously my first day back at work and I was asleep. But I mean, I just know for Adele to message me to say, "Mate, I've got this wire and it's fucking banging." She thinks it's banging. It doesn't mean everyone's going to think it's banging. There's going to be people out there looking for a reason to say that it's shit and it's from China, so therefore it must be crap. I've put a lot of money into. I put more money into the wire than I did into the liquids, and I've done that on the basis that both of our shops are lacking a wire supplier. There's nowhere I can go and buy that range of wire from anywhere. So I've bought it and we've got it in the shops. And if people want to wholesale it and take advantage of that situation, they're more than welcome to. And if they choose not to, Shady Vaping carries the biggest range and the best range of wire anywhere in the country. That's why I've done it. No other reason. I've done the liquid in some senses for the same thing. I've picked 12 profiles that are right up my street. Now I've got to change that at some point because otherwise we'll never have a watermelon liquid in the range, etc., etc. But I mean, I really, really struggle to say. I tried. They had a strawberry watermelon. I can't remember what it was called within the samples with a tiny, tiny little bit of cool larder in there. And again, I'm not into massively cold cool larder liquids. So when I come to taste them, the first thing off my tongue isn't "fuck me, that's brilliant." I'm going, "Fuck me, that's cold." It's not for me. But tried toning it down a bit. At the end of the day, I have to work on the assumption that if I like something, not everyone will like it, but there's still a lot of people out there that will like it. When I bought out the sleeve mod, the original one, I bought it out for myself. We made 100 of them, of which I had 2 because I had 001 and I had number 76 because I was born in 76 and I wanted 001. Tash had number 2 and 82 because she was born in 82 and she had number 2. So then I had a single one set up, I had a stack one set up, and we sold the other 96 mods. Now, I honestly never thought we'd do run 2. I never thought we'd launch the clean mod. I never thought we'd do the cleaner mods, the dirty mod, the Empress, the ME, the Emperor, the first deck, the second deck, the third deck, the fourth deck, the fifth deck, the 22mm decks, the caps. Our range is probably bigger than most other mech mod companies out there. As far as what we've done from start to finish at this point in time, that was never my plan. If it was my plan, our mods would have been more expensive because I had to allow for wholesale. We don't make much on a wholesale mod by any stretch of the imagination at all. And that's because when I started it, I never started it with this mindset of this can be something big. And I do believe we are the biggest mech mod company in the UK. I don't know whether that's true or whether it isn't, but I feel like we are. I feel like we've achieved fantastic things in 3 years. And I'll keep going as long as there's something to go at. And when there isn't, I'll knock it on the head.
I think it definitely comes to the enjoyable side of things, really. You know, you do enjoy tinkering and everything like that, and obviously you do bring the stuff out, but it's obviously been a massive success because obviously you get a lot of that feedback, and people do actually enjoy what comes out of Endless and now AF. And
you need to be walking through Endless genuinely and get stopped by someone who I haven't got a clue who it is to say, "Mate, can I just have a quick selfie with you?" And then shake my hand and say, "Oh, fucking brilliant. Thanks ever so much. I'm really chuffed that I've met you." Blows my fucking mind. I'm never ever walking away going, "Oh, check me out, man. Fucking superstar Vaper." Genuinely, it blows my mind. I had a woman come and fucking stick a cast on my leg and say, "Can you sign my cast for me, please?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?" I've had another geezer saying, "Will you sign this box for me?" And someone else saying, "I'll buy this mod, but only if you sign the box." And I'm like, "I'll sign whatever you want me to sign, mate. It's literally my name on a piece of paper. It's not." Someone asked Tasha for her autograph, and Tasha was a bit like, "What the fuck do you want my autograph for?" I wasn't there, but I'm assuming she had an autograph book, and she was getting different people at Expo to sign it. And Tasha was a bit like, "I'm just Tasha Harrison. I don't need to sign your book. It's nothing. I'm just me. Do you know what I mean?" And I know she was saying to me on Sunday, it's a bit weird, and it's weird because we are just us. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm not Eric Hutchinson. I've never tried to be Eric Hutchinson. And Eric was sort of celebrity level within this industry. And when Eric went to Expo in May last year or October, in fact, it was October of the year before, because it was just before the shitstorm with AV broke, literally by about 10 days. For me to be walking, I weren't even going to see Eric. I was walking actually to see Benny from Scoundrel. And I assumed Eric was on the stand, because not on Benny's stand, but on the stand that AV were on, because there was a fucking group of fanboys around Eric. For Eric to shout me out and go, "Hey, it's Paul from Endless Mods," fucking blew my head, mate. Like, genuinely. And he stopped talking to people to come over and shake my hand, and he gave me a hold of that chubby Abel, and I had my fucking Cerakote clean or whatever I was using. And he was like, "Hey, can we get a picture, dude?" And I've got a picture of him holding my mod and me holding his mod. That's fucking, it's mental to me, mate, because to me, I always see the likes of Eric Hutchinson doing a live feed, and I'd tune into him and see what's going on, what's he doing, how's he working, and it's just, it's madness. But that is what genuinely makes me tick, is that feeling like we've done something enough in the last 6 years for people to know who we are, what we do, what we're about. That's enough for me, man. The money is genuinely a bonus for us.
It's very humbling.
It's massively humbling, mate. Honestly, I say, me and Jack were doing, before Tasha come on, I don't know if it was Saturday morning, Sunday, when we went and done the live feed on the 360 camera. So I said to Jack, "Come on, we'll just have a walk up to the end. We'll do the live feed on 360. We'll walk up to Zeus, and then we'll walk all the way back down." And during that walk, I got stopped by someone going, "Oh, fucking hell." I heard him go, "Oh, it's Paul from Endless, man." And he come over and he's like, "Mate, I just want to shake your hand, and then can I have a picture with you?" And I'm like, "Absolutely," because I'm just me, man. It's crazy. Madness.
I nearly started crying. I think it was on Saturday. Pascal vouched for me. He came over to me and was like, "I appreciate what you do. You got me off the SIGs." And I was stood there, and he just shook my hand and walked off. And it was like,
give him a long
again. I nearly started crying.
Support and tell me, God, that's so nice.
You know what, Tom? It's look, even now, for the amount of times I go to our shops. The last time I went to Dudley, I ended up selling a starter kit to someone. And to be fair, if I'm in the shop and someone comes in new, I've got a pretty good conversion rate of getting a kit in their hand, selling them a kit. More because I can tell them my personal story. It's not lies. It's not sales spiel. I used to smoke 60 fags a day. I don't anymore. And even now, after 6 years, I don't even know how many starter kits we've sold. 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. I ain't got a fucking clue. Thousands and thousands and thousands of kits. Thousands and thousands and thousands of bottles of e-liquid to people that no longer smoke because they came to us and had a kit. It's still the best feeling in the world, someone leaving that shop as a vapor, and only second to them coming back 2 weeks later to say, "I still had a fucking cigarette, mate. This thing's mad." I went home with the expectation of smoking 2 or 3 a day, or having my morning one and having one when I go for a shit and one after I've had sex. And I've not smoked a fag. I've still got the 6 fags I had when I left the shop, and I've got no intention of smoking. And that's madness. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I said last night, I got invited onto Vape Talk UK last night just to give a bit of an expo rundown. And I think I might have even said it last week. I know I said it to you in our kitchen the other day. If this goes tits up in the next 6 months or the next 2 years or the next 6 years or whatever that period of time is, I'll always look back at this with a smile on my face, knowing that we made a huge difference to a small industry. And that's us, you, Tash, the team, the staff. made a massive difference to an industry, a difference where we can launch a mod now without our logos on it, and people see it on Facebook and say, "What mod's that?" And someone goes, "Oh, it's the new Endless Emmy or it's the new Endless Emperor." And I've done that for a reason. I've done it for two reasons. One, because there's cunts out there that would probably use our RDA because it's good, but they wouldn't use it with an Endless logo on because they're stuck with Pratt's. And the other thing was, I wanted to see how well we're marketing products when we haven't got to splash our name all over the side of things in big writing. And it's something that I'm keen to keep. I mean, I don't particularly want endless all over every product that we do, because I don't like it on other people's mods. And again, that comes down to a personal thing. I like something that looks nice and clean and fresh. Out of everything that I liked about the Scoundrel, I hated the fact it was written down the side of the mod. There you go. Tom's got an Emperor and I haven't.
I've literally, while we've been on chat, I'm not even joking, this is how sort of buzzed I'm back about the industry and everything. I've been sat building as we was on the chat. That is, I have not sat and literally got my toolkit out and built and cleaned my mod what in fucking, I'd say, 12 months.
Yeah.
Generally not, and I've got a massive buzz back for it, and I'm sat here talking to you, having a great chat, having a chill, building away on my mod, and I feel like it's fucking 2015. I am generally buzzed about this industry and just everything back in it now. I don't know whether I've got the Expo blues or whatever I've got, but there's just something in the back of my mind just saying, do you know what? There is a change here. And someone said in their music box, I don't know music box name because he's in chat as fucking music box. So make another account with your fucking name saying you're saving lives. We're not just saving lives. Everybody in this community is saving lives because you're promoting products, you're talking about products, you talk about vaping. I just want to mention that did you ever have a bumper sticker on your car that said, or did you ever get a sticker that said E6 saves lives? Do you remember them stickers that were all in all the shops?
Yeah, I do, Tom. Paul's not listening.
No, I'm just the Vaper Expo have just put a post out with the Vaper Expo UK award winners. Endless mods stroke AF.
It's nice to find. Well, I'm gonna mention that. Let's go back to that. And I said this to you, and this is not me being a prick, and this is not me being big-headed, and this is not me being like, yeah, whatever. That fucking award is well and truly over fucking due. I'm sorry to anybody that thinks I'm being a pompous, ignorant twat. I'm very, very sorry about that, but I'm sorry, but that award is overdue. And we will be grafting and making sure that the next award we receive is either for a Met mod or a fucking bottle of juice. I guarantee you are that simple as. And that is, once again, not me being an arrogant fucker. That is just me being downright telling the truth that we as a team are grafting, and we will fucking graft till Paul's got another trophy on his fucking mantle.
You know what? I Met mods for the whole of last year. We launched. I was dead excited about the Empress. I was dead excited about 2700 batteries. I was dead excited about something new coming to the industry that would move it onto another level. And if I'm being honest, the lack of enthusiasm over 2700 batteries proper took the wind out of my sails, because, and I still believe now, I mean, we were talking about that mod either late December, early January, and I had something come up in my memories in February this year to say that I'd got the Empress prototype in my hand. So within 6 weeks of that night when I messaged you and said, mate, what do you know about 2700 batteries? They're going to change the game. Within 6 weeks, we had a mod in my hand that took 2700 batteries, and we launched it at Expo, and we were the first people in the world to produce a 2700 mod. We were the first people in the world to produce a stack 2700 mod. We were the first people in the world to put a stack kit in a box and sell it as a stack kit. For such a small company starting out, it was just me literally bouncing ideas off Tasha, who would look at something and go, yeah, that's very nice, love. literally, and I'm going, nah, but look at this. And she's like, yeah, fucking, that's lovely, that is. Yeah, knock yourself out, make some of them. But I mean, to
I
get
remember us being on the phone.
we're literally making manufacturers rush mods out to take that title of being the world's first 2700 mod. We had full produced stock in our shop. Sometimes you speak to the wrong people. Sometimes I'm never backwards in coming forwards. I haven't got a problem with saying this is what I'm doing. And if people choose to get out there quicker than me and make it quicker and get it to market faster, I honestly don't. I know that we were the first person to manufacture a 2700 mod. I know we were the first person with the thought of sticking it in the mod. First mods actually out there to take 2700s were 3D printed boxes because they can knock it up on their computer tomorrow morning. Once I put a post out saying this is going to be the future, I still think battery will change the game. For me personally, at this minute in time, the 2650 is the best mech battery on the market. Our Empire will certainly take a 2650. It'll take a 26650. It'll take an 18650. It might even take a 21700 and a 2700. I'm not, and we can do that quite easily. But because the 2700, and the other thing is, I still state that the Empress is one of the nicest looking mech mods on the market. Again, that's my personal opinion. It's one of the most comfortable to use. The Hourglass RDA with that mod is one of the prettiest looking single setups I've seen. And obviously that's subjective because I designed it, and I designed it that way because I like the look of it. That's not to say that the other mods that are out there are shit and they look ugly. I just really, really like the look of that mod. The fact that 2700 didn't go the way it should have done, that was pretty much down to Sanyo not having the 2700 available for mass market. And even though the iJoy 5 leg is a decent quality 2700, it's not a 2700A, and they are, in my opinion, game-changing batteries. That said, I still prefer the 2650, the LG6, I think it is, the 2650. Absolutely cracking. That's a 5-leg iJoy. Again,
5-leg.
They're decent batteries. They work well. They're not a 2700A. And everything we've done around that mod was designed around a 2700A battery, to the point where we had to machine the insides of the mods out after manufacture to take the iJoy 2700 because it's slightly bigger and wouldn't fit into the fucking mod. So we're sat with 1,000 mods and not a battery to fit in the cunts. And these are all learning curves, and maybe I rushed that one too fast. We were definitely ahead of battery. Because of that, Vapor's Cloud done the same thing. They launched at the expo as well. And last year, 2700s didn't do what they should have done. Simple as that. And it did take a bit of wind out of my sails. And then we launched the Dirty at the same time. And to be fair, the Dirty sold fantastically well. And it's not even a pretty looking mod, let's be honest. It's a big old chunk of a mod designed to take 26650s to stack the fucking thing as many times as you like, as long as you're keeping it safe. I'm really looking forward to getting the 30mm mod out, because actually it will be a nice, pretty looking mod. It's 2650, 26650 is still going to be the same height as the ME and the Emperor. That's a small old mod for a 30mm diameter. And then, to be completely honest, this thing that Chris and I are working on has really, really, really fired some fire back up my ass as far as mech mods are concerned, because I don't use the word game changer ever. It's not something I use. However, I do think this can be a game changer, and I'm really excited to get it out there.
Talking about the 2700 battery, I've still got the hyperlink on the top of my computer that night when me and you was on the call at 3 o'clock in the morning looking for 2700 batteries. Gospel truth. I've fucking still got the hyperlink because we was literally looking everywhere to find these fucking batteries, and we could not find them for their fucking love or money.
Yeah, and I'd got iJoy batteries in my hand. I remember getting, in fact, James Burr messaged me and says, I've managed to get, because he was messaging me if he got any 2700s, and I'd reserved 10,000 2700As. It was a huge amount of money. But I thought, if I'm being completely honest, I thought if I'm the only company 10,000 of them batteries in the UK, I'm going to sell them for decent money. But I know that they're worth decent money because they're quality sell. And right at the last minute, Sanyo said to me, I'm really sorry, but Tesla are literally consuming batteries quicker than what we can produce, and they're not going to go out to mass market. And I was like, what you on about, you mad cunt? We've already sent the money to China to manufacture these mods. There's 1,000 mods being made. So I need the batteries. The sleeve and the adapter for the 18650 was an afterthought because I never ever made it to take an 18650. Obviously, it's easy to do that because we've done it. However, I didn't want it to take an 18650. We already had a mod that took an 18650. I wanted it to be a 2700 mod. And I remember James messaged me saying, if you got them, I was like, they should be coming, they should be coming, they should be coming. Fuck, they've just pulled the plug on them. And then he was like, what the fuck are we going to do? We've got our mods coming, we've got no batteries. And then James messaged me and said, I've managed to get hold of 1,000 2700s from iJoy. And I was like, I'll take 500 of them. And he was like, I'll give you 200 of them. Or so I can't remember the exact numbers, but I remember driving to Evo and I picked up the batteries and I drove home and I got the mod from the shop and I dropped the battery in and it went thunk and fucking got stuck. And I was like, what the fuck, man? So I got another mod and I dropped the battery in, thump, and it got stuck. And then I peeled the shrink wrap off it and I dropped it in and it slid straight through. And I remember messaging you saying, mate, we need to find the thinnest heat shrink we can find in the world. And we bought it and I got it in and I wrapped the battery and I dropped it in and it got stuck. And I was like, what the hell are we going to do? And I paid someone to machine the inside of every single mod out to take a 2700 out, to take the iJoy battery. And it was something like 0.9 of a mil bigger than the 2700 out. And I was like, what the fuck?
Someone's asking, can you will the new mod be stackable? The new 30mm mod? Will the Emmy also be stackable? Or the Emperor be stackable?
We've got stack extension coming for. Just refresh all your echoing mad again, Tom.
Sorry, refresh you.
We've got the stacked prototypes coming for the Emperor, and in theory they will screw into the Emmy because it's the same thread on the top cap. However, we're not bringing out a 22mm extension for the Emmy because for me, we bought it out for a reason. I've reluctantly done a cloud cap for it because it needed one, depending on the build. And as much as people have bought it and have tried it and have gone, you know what, it's good. It's not a super sub-ohm device. It's not designed for that. However, the Emperor hits exceptionally well. It's 24mm or 22mm. You can get a nice build in 22mm RDA. You can get a nice build in a 24mm RDA. We've got the new 24mm Crown RDA coming. So there will be a stack for the Emperor specifically. It won't be available as a kit. You'll just buy the stack if you want it, and if you don't, you don't have to. The 30mm, again, I think we'll release it as a single mod. If you want to buy a stacked extension, you can. We'll do limited runs of the stacks. And that's how it is. The new mod that we're looking at with this will be a stacked mod. It will come as a stack kit, single kit, stack kit, and then there'll be stacked extensions available thereafter if you want to pick up body or do whatever you like. That's your call, and you can do what you please. But the thing that excites me about Christmas Diaries, it takes us back full circle to where we started, where literally you can absolutely multi-option on that. The options are endless on that mod, to the point where we're working on lots of other things. So you can slide it into the mod box, you can slide it into a Squonka, you can slide it into a series box, a parallel box. So much options with that. Genuinely exciting.
Just going through the comments. I really want to see an Emperor stack. This is me generally speaking. I really want to see it because it's going to be definitely the smallest stack on the market.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that the Emmy or the Emperor, if you put the Emmy cloud cap on the Emperor and stand it next to an Empress, the Empress is about 3 or 4 mil shorter without the RDA on. So we've got the mod, the switch, the RDA. It's just a tad taller than the actual Empress mod itself without an RDA on. Tiny. So I mean, literally, we're going to add 650 mil to the length. Sorry, 65 mil to the length of the mod to stack it. And I think the mod itself with the RDA on is about 65, 75, 8. It's less than 90 mil with the RDA on. And I think it's without the RDA on, it's less than 75 mil. I'm sure it's about 72 mil, which is 7 mil longer than a battery. So the thing for me is when you get to the 30 mil and you stack that, and you're looking at something that's just probably not much bigger than a Dragon, a 2700 Dragon mod with a decent RDA and it's stacked, it's going to look sick in stacked all things in the 30.
Oh, definitely, without a doubt. I think we've covered all bases tonight. I just think, is there anything else that we can touch base about? I definitely want to let everybody know, if you do want to get AF Juice or Emperor Endless into your shops, please let us know, especially with AF Juice, because at the minute I'm absolutely balls deep with people wanting the juice, wanting samples. So if you do want to get it into the shop, remember that there is that 1 mile radius, and I will abide to the 1 mile radius. So if there's a shop that wants it and there is one next to you, I won't stock you. So remember, if you do want it locally, you need to hit me up ASAP and get in touch with your shop owners. I've had a couple of messages today from people getting me to message their shop owners. So if you want in that, please let me know, because they are going to be spots flying about very, very quickly. I do want to literally emphasize that a lot, that the AF Juice was very much loved at Expo. I think I spoke to one person who didn't like one flavours out of the whole range. There was a lot of great feedback from it. Expo itself was really, really good for AF and Endless, and obviously the build them as well. We are getting out into shops as well, so if you do want it, and if you are a builder or you know somebody that builds coils and they're wanting a decent supply of wire, make sure that you get them to hit us up, because we will be doing 1,000-foot spools. How do I message you for AF Juice? Message me on Facebook or message us through the YouTube channel. We can pick up the messages from there and we will deal with your query there at Monkey360. But if we can get sort of chat to get involved for the last couple of minutes, well, the last 15 minutes, I want to know what everybody thought of Expo, because we've sort of run through our bit and obviously discussed about what we thought of Expo and obviously what's coming for us guys, and obviously with the Expo in October. We need to start planning Fest, really, don't we?
Vape Fest in August.
Not allowed to talk about Expo till next week.
Tash said we're not allowed to discuss any expos until next week.
Okay, I do apologise, Tash, sorry.
So we will get Vape Fest. We will have wire, we will have juice, we will have mod. Juice won't have nothing like the quantity of stock that we would have at expos. We genuinely don't go to making. If I don't know what it cost us to be there last year, a couple of grand or something like that, $2.5 grand. And if we can cover that $2.5 grand as a bonus, it's not the end of the world. It is genuinely a community thing. And anyone that's been to Expo, if you go into Fest, do not expect the same. It's nice, it's relaxed, it's a different atmosphere. And what I would say is, if you go into Vape Fest as a newbie, go with a few pals that you can have the crack with, because they haven't got a main stage and there's not fucking loud music unless you're in our tent. It's just a nice, relaxed vibe, man. It's good, and there's a lot of old school vapors there, and it's a nice place to be. Certainly, it's not about us going there to clean up and make a lot of money, because it just don't happen at Fest. It just don't. We won hardware vendor of the year. I think we won last year. Fest.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And also the other thing, I've absolutely mentioned me saying, how do I go to Fest? actually, you have to be invited to go, and we get invited to go because we now own Thomas Wood. Because prior to that, they would never have invited me in a fucking million years. So it's not what you know, it's who you know where Vape Fest is concerned. And Mr. Wood got us a hook up there, and we won hardware vendor of show, which was awesome on our first outing at Fest. And we've been invited back again this year, so we might as well go there and try and knock the back out of it and have a laugh and a joke. And again, I think we had a 66-metre tent, so it's a fair old size tent.
We had two there on the high bales.
We had the hay bales, we had some seating in there, we had some music,
We had some karaoke.
we had the kids doing karaoke.
That was brilliant.
Ava said to me that she wants to do it again this year, but she wants to take a hat so the people can put money in for her. So but she said she's donating it to charity, but I reckon probably Haribo's is where that money would go. So if you want to bring sweets and throw them in a hat, she'll be more than happy. But you know what? It's obviously kids can come. It's a nice chill weekend, man. I do like Fest, and certainly after the Expo and the effort that go. I mean, literally at Fest, Tom will be driving down to Birmingham to pick up a van to drive back to Shropshire with a van full of stuff. And we've got some banners, and we've got a marquee, and we have straw bales, and it's a bit fucking pikey affair, but it's chilled and it's relaxed and it's good, and the kids can go and it's nice. But do not go there with any misconception that it's anything at all like Expo, because it really isn't. That said, I do think it's a worthwhile weekend.
100%, yeah. It is literally camping out with your mates, getting pissed, and walking around the field looking at vape gear. That is literally how we can explain it. And as Paul said, we had a lot of fun last year. Obviously, Paul said we didn't go to clear up, and we were just there as it's a family event. And the family event really works because you can take your kids, you can take dogs, you can tent out. Fucking hell, I think, what is it? A tenner to camp out for weekend. Fuck me, you can't go to Butlins for fucking tenner. You can't even put diesel in your car to get to Butlins for a tenner. You know what I mean? You tent out, everyone has a laugh, everyone's playing music. It's sort of very much festival-like, as it's called, Vape Fest, like, but it's very festival-like and it's very chilled. And if you do sort of want to get away from boom, 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 clap, clap, clap at an expo, and you just want to communicate with, you know, vendors and people that you've known, definitely Vape Fest is one to look at. And we enjoyed ourselves last time. And lugging them fucking A-bales pissed me right.
To be fair, last year I was best man at my cousin's wedding on the Saturday. So we didn't even go down on the Saturday, and we turned up on Sunday and everything was done, and we just chilled, and then we fucked off home and left everyone else to clear it up. And I'll be doing exactly the same this year, but we pack kids and just have a chill out, man. It's nice. It was a nice weekend.
So.
In fact, we were there the year before.
I want you
to juice sauce.
You what, Paul?
Juice with under.
Yeah, we was.
Actually, the year before we was at Fest.
That was that year, not last year. Last year we went both days when Tom was there. It was the year before. Should have sent Simone and Dave, didn't we?
Oh yeah, did we go both days last year, didn't we? It must have been the year. No, Darren. Did Darren get married 2 years ago? Was I down there Saturday and Sunday this year, Tom?
We definitely was.
I think it was down the Sunday.
Oh no, you did, didn't you? Because Simone stopped in the hotel and Sinead stopped over with her.
Yes.
So it was the year before where actually we shared a tent with Andy from Midland Vaping, who was doing the Juice Source, which is the American Juice Source before Juice Source launched as a company in the UK. And we actually shared a marquee with them because they were going, and I couldn't be there because of the wedding and whatever else. So we were there sort of unofficially, actually, because I know since then they changed the rules and said the tents can't be shared, and if you're a vendor, you can't just invite other randoms to join you, and it obviously goes against their protocol of sneaking people into the event, basically. But definitely anyone that's happy to travel to Telford or wherever it is Telford, isn't it? Or Shrewsbury. Sorry, so about another half an hour on from Telford. If you've got a tent, if you've got a van, if you've got an estate car that you can sleep in, it's that type of event, man. You just go there, you spend the day, you get fucking twisted on the night, you fall asleep, you wake up in the morning, have a cheeky pikey wash with some wet wipes, fucking freshen the old bag up and get on again for Sunday, man. That's
There is showers there. There is showers there. You can get a shower in, but
to be
I'm
fair,
sure the next man's pissed in it or a rat's been through it night before.
we're about 45 minutes away, so to be honest, for us, it's just a drive there and it's a drive back, and that suits me perfectly fine. I know, talking about tramps and free shit, Jay Malik from Vape Journey posted something earlier that he'd had an inbox message of someone saying, "Hi, my dad passed away last week, and I just wondered if you can send me out some free shit so I don't smoke."
Shut up.
And I'm like, seriously, one, I don't believe your dad's died last week. You are actually just a massive beg. But if your dad has died last week and your fucking first thought is, I need to get myself some free vape stuff because my dad's dead, you're a cunt.
I'm speechless. I'm fucking wow.
They're the sort of
Is
people
that how low people
take a selfie at the funeral directors with their dead dad in the coffin. They are. They're that sort of twat.
Oh my god.
Monkey 360 Expo was great, but kind of crazy with IVG getting people screaming for free juice. Vape Fest sounds way more chill. Expo is massively chilled. And the thing with Expo is if your first event you've ever been to is Expo and then you go to Fest, they're the sort of people that come back from Fest saying it's fucking shit. But actually it's different, man. It's a completely different vibe. It's not a vape expo. It's a vape festival. And it's just chilled and it's relaxed and it's just shits and giggles and banter and laughs and but talking about IVG, how many people that was at Expo spotted all the fat blokes walking around in medium-sized t-shirts that were completely too small for them with IVG on it? I mean, literally, we stood, me and Jack, and actually James Burr from Evolution stood by the red carpet entrance when the mate, because obviously on Friday the B2B day starts, and it just sort of happens. People just start turning up at the stand. On Saturday, when they release that herd of people into the fucking massive expo, it is absolutely crazy. The floods of people coming through there is ridiculous. Now, the plus side was that we were literally, you walked in the door, turned right, and we were 15 foot away from that door. Now, the main red carpet runs straight down from the door, so people literally fucking head in a straight line. There was that much block up there that they started busting a right, and we ended up with about fucking 2,000. I took a photo literally a minute after it opened. It looks like we've got 10,000 people around the stand. And it was literally, they were just trying to filter their way through the expo. But I noticed lots and lots and lots of ill-fitting IVG t-shirts on lots of people. So 2 requests. If you get given a free t-shirt and it doesn't fit you, pass it on to someone who's not so fat. And the other request is to IVG that if you want to give out 1,000 t-shirts, you need to make this shit in 4 and 5XL because there's so many fat bastards that go to these events. It's ridiculous. And or have I love fucking diabetes or something on the, I don't know. You need to change your branding or something. I don't know.
Don't just with fucking diabetes, right?
Now, you know what, mate? To be honest, I stood there thinking two things that I thought we should do in October. One is I will get 500 medium t-shirts done with tight as fuck on, knowing that people will put them on and they're not going to fit them. And then the other thing is I'm genuinely thinking about branding a fucking cheap, beggy as fuck or whatever liquid, and it's going to just be called free shit, and that is what we will give away.
And I hope it's the fucking worst liquid in the world.
Well, there's that. We either do a banging flavour where everyone goes, no way, that is fire. Or I'll just make some fucking rat piss in a bottle or something and some really bad, nasty cinnamon rich liquid that just fucking rot. bags of sweetener in it, so it fucks your fucking smock coil in 6 drags.
Oh, that is absolutely fucking mint. I'm definitely excited for what's coming, and definitely Expo in October, getting the Endless Banter back up on stage. I've got to think of something fucking crazy to beat this time, because let's be realistic, the fucking reaction to that was fucking brilliant. But as I said earlier on today, when you see people doing shit like that on Expo, remember it was fucking us who did it first. We're definitely gonna have to get our heads together, Paul, and think about what we're gonna do, because we may have to do something like that at fucking Fest. See how many free shit fucking hours are at Fest.
I'm up for tremendous banter at Fest, mate. Absolutely. We've got the PA system. We can go there. We can do it. The thing about Fest is we definitely can turn up with clippers, man. We can cut concerts off. We can turn up with tattoo guns. We can tattoo some fucker. We can just go next level at Fest. Expo today, genuinely, I'm sat there thinking, well, what do we do? What do we do that's different? Eating onions is done. We don't need to eat onions anymore.
Yeah, we're fucking boiled eggs. People don't like a boiled egg.
I mean, even we can get like, you know, like the rings that the magicians have, and you hold them up, and it's got the fabric around it.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say anything else that I was going to say, man. I'll speak to you afterwards, because someone else will go, come up with a fucking brilliant idea that we're going to do on stage. Come up with your own fucking idea. That's another thing as well, man. Do you reckon we can have an inflatable boxing ring at Fest, Tom, with the big boxing gloves?
We have discussed doing VG wrestling before.
Yeah, we'll just have a boxing ring.
This is a boxing ring, a massive boxing gloves, man.
Anyone who's got beef can just go and slag it.
Yeah, we'll just have.
I reckon we could do that.
We'll just have a big sign made, sorted as fuck, man. You just go in there, sort out your shit. Whoever gets beat up just has to eat a bit of humble pie and fuck off and get over themselves, man. Yeah, I'll even get Ace of Vapes to make us a humble pie as fuck liquid, and you just got to vape it. I've also got another idea for October, which is something I spoke to Tash about, which is cool, man. It's proper cool. But that could be wicked on Endless Banter, to be fair, on the stage. We've just got to fucking do a bit of work, but it's something that I'm genuinely thinking about launching as a gift to sell from the stand in October, because I know it'll go down a storm at vape shops, at parties, for anyone where groups of people that vape together. It's fucking wicked, mate. And actually, that is what we're going to do on the stand at October. Tasha's looking at me like, what the fuck you on about?
I don't know, but I want to go to bed at a reasonable time tonight.
We are. It's 10 o'clock, bang on the button.
No, I mean, look, after we're going to go off this, and then we're going to have a little conversation. Tom's going to do some laughing.
You know what? People have got their chili challenge, cinnamon challenge. The chili challenge, my issue with the chili challenge, and we could have done the whole fucking, whatever it's called, the, what's the mad chilies, Thomas?
It's the Carolina Reapers.
Carolina Reaper. My issue with that is I don't particularly want to be on the news because someone has died on stage. And it could happen, man. And I know.
Any advertising?
Natasha's saying any advertising is fucking good advertising. Not if some cunt's fucking dead in the middle of the stage on NEC. And while the fucking press are coming in, I'm fucking jumping around in a fucking dead t-shirt. But I've definitely got something we can do on stage, mate, and it can involve 6 people as well without it getting fucking proper random. And it will be banter, but actually, genuinely, I can turn it into a board game as well, which is something that I already thought of when I first come up with the branding idea for the AF. I was like, oh, we could do this, man. It'd be fucking sick.
I think I've got a clue, but I'll probably totally fucking wrong. Probably totally fucking wrong. Well, we've come to 1 minute past 10. Tash wants to get off to fucking bed. I'm going to giggle with Paul for like 5 seconds because Tash wants to get off to bed. So we're going to shut this show down this week. We'll be back next week. As I say, keep watch out for stuff on Facebook. We do update regularly. I will be uploading a video, hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow for the Emperor mod, for a quick look over it, how we set it up, and going through the whole mod. So that should be out tomorrow. So yeah, Paul, if you want to sign out, then we can get off and let Tasha get to bed.
People, been a pleasure.
Paul's had enough already. Paul's having his snack and he's off to bed.
Paul's eating hula hoops, man, and you'll either love it or fuck off.
Well, we'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell icon, because you get a notification every time we go live or when I upload videos. Thanks again, once again, for all your support. We do genuinely absolutely love the fact that you do have our backs and you do support us. And we see new faces in the chat. We're seeing old faces in the chat, and just generally we love it. So see you next week. Take it easy, and I'm not going to be cuntish as fuck. See you later. Right.